has already begun to slow. 4 quiet places are waiting in a single line. Nothing will rush you from one to the next. The hours can blur without effort. This is one long stretch of calm. The spaces will change, but the pace will not. And the night will keep carrying you forward. Tonight, you are inside a subsea cable relay station at the edge of the coast. The storm stays outside, but this room stays sealed. Indicator lights remain steady along the racks. Nothing here needs a fast decision. The air is cool and dry. The floor is clean and solid. The words can stay in the background. A heavy door closes the corridor behind you. Its lock sits flush in the frame. No latch clicks again. Along the wall, a map shows the sea floor. Thin lines mark cable routes. Small labels name junction points. The station remains quiet. A row of equipment racks fills the main room. Fans turn at a constant speed. Their tone stays low. Green lights remain on. Blue lights pulse in slow intervals. No red light appears. Nothing demands attention. A metal grate runs down the center of the floor. Beneath it, cable bundles pass toward the ocean. No vibration travels up. A pressure gauge near the grate holds steady. The needle does not drift. The glass remains clear. The system holds its balance. In the far corner, a sealed cabinet holds spare modules. The cabinet door stays closed. Tags hang straight. A small work lamp glows above a bench. Tools remain aligned on a rubber mat. No tool is missing. The bench stays unused. Outside the thick wall, the sea keeps moving. You do not hear waves directly. Only the building's insulation and fan tone remain. A brief relay click sounds once, then silence returns. Along the racks, labels repeat in simple text. Power, sync, amplify. Each label stays lit or dim the same way. A monitor shows a flat line and small numbers. No graph redraws. No alarm banner appears. The room stays stable. You take a slow walk between the racks. Your steps remain soft. The sound fades quickly. Cold air moves down the aisle. It does not change temperature. It remains even against the skin. You stop near a junction panel. The junction panel has a clear cover. Behind it, fiber connectors sit in neat rows. No connector moves. No dust rests on the ports. A tiny status LED blinks in a measured pattern. It does not speed up. It does not slow down. The pattern remains correct. A second corridor leads toward the landing tunnel. A warning sign is bolted to the wall. Its letters remain sharp. Past the sign, the tunnel door stays sealed. A gasket line remains tight. No moisture beads along the edge. laundry holds. Back in the main room, the fan tone continues. One rack is slightly warmer than the next. The difference is small. It remains constant. A cooling unit cycles gently. No loud change, only steady airflow. The station remains calm. On a shelf, a logbook lies open to a blank page. A pen rests in the clip. No entry is needed. A clock above the shelf moves its hands. It does not tick loudly. You do not follow it. The room remains the same. A small speaker for the coastal network stays silent. No voice comes through. No test tone plays. A second relay click sounds. Then nothing. The sound does not repeat again. You sit briefly on the bench near the work lamp. The surface is firm. It feels cool through clothing. Your shoulders drop. Your hands rest without tension. The lights remain steady. Cable routes continue beneath the floor grate. The seafloor remains far below. The station stays dry and sealed above it. No vehicle arrives at the outer gate. No door opens in the corridor. Only airflow and low light remain. The relay station keeps running. Soon, the details stop feeling sharp. Labels soften into simple blocks of light. The fan tone becomes a single line. You do not need to check anything again. The system already knows what to do. And the sealed room stays steady, holding its quiet work through the night. A narrow cabinet at the end of the aisle holds battery packs. Small LEDs show charge levels in a clean row. No pack warms. No fan changes speed. A breaker panel is labeled in tidy handwriting. Main, aux, C-Link. All switches remain in the same position. Near the floor, a dehumidifier line runs to a drain. No water backs up. The hose remains clear. The tray remains empty. A sealed hatch in the wall marks the cable entry. Bolts remain tight around the rim. No salt air leaks through. The gasket stays dry. A small test button sits under a plastic cover. The cover stays down. No test is required tonight. You stand still for a moment. The fan tone stays even. The lights keep their steady rhythm. Nothing changes, and nothing needs to. On the wall map, one route is highlighted with a thin yellow strip. The strip does not glow. It simply marks the primary line. A spare fiber coil rests in a clear case. Its loops remain perfect circles. No strand shifts. A small sensor reads cabinet temperature. The number stays fixed. No warning appears. You return to the bench. You sit. The room remains sealed and steady. Outside, the coast keeps its weather. Inside, the relay station keeps its quiet pattern. It continues evenly. The main room remains steady after the last relay click. tracks, air moves in a constant stream. It does not grow colder. It does not grow warmer. It stays even along the aisle. The monitor nearest the junction panel keeps the same flat line. Numbers remain unchanged. No graph redraws. The screen holds its quiet state. A cooling unit cycles once. A soft change in airflow. Then the same steady tone returns. Nothing else responds. Under the floor grate, cable bundles remain unseen and still. No vibration rises from below. No movement reaches the metal frame. The station stays dry and sealed. A small speaker near the coastal network stays silent. No test tone, no voice, no static. Only the fans remain. You walk once more past the labels. Power, sync, amplify. The words remain clear in the low light. Nothing asks to be checked again. The cabinet of spare modules remains closed. Tags hang straight. No latch shifts. The shelf remains orderly. Near the breaker panel, the switch positions remain unchanged. Main holds. Aux holds. C-Link holds. No hand reaches for them. A thin line of light rests along the wall map. The highlighted route remains visible. No marker moves across the seafloor lines. The map stays fixed. A dehumidifier hose runs to the drain. The tray remains empty. No water collects. No drip sounds. The air stays controlled. You return to the bench under the work lamp. Tools remain aligned on the mat. No tool has shifted. The lamp remains steady. The surface feels cool and firm. A small temperature sensor shows one stable number. It does not climb. It does not drop. The reading stays within its range. Another relay click sounds, softer than before. One click, then nothing. The room returns to the same quiet line. In the landing tunnel corridor, the sealed door remains shut. The gasket line stays tight. No moisture beads along the edge. The boundary holds. Back in the aisle, the fiber connectors remain in neat rows. The tiny LED blinks in its measured pattern. It does not change speed. The pattern remains correct. Outside the walls, waves continue somewhere beyond hearing. Inside, the station continues its own routine. Fans, lights, airflow. No interruption arrives. A logbook page remains blank. The pen remains clipped. No entry is required. The open paper stays still under the lamp. The clock above the shelf moves its hands. You do not follow it. The station does not react to it. The room remains the same. battery cabinet shows charge lights in a clean row. Levels remain steady. No pack warms. No fan changes speed. Everything remains balanced. You stand for a moment near the floor grate. Metal bars feel cool beneath your shoes. The hum remains even. Nothing shifts underfoot. You turn back toward the racks. The aisle remains clear. The lights remain steady. The sealed room keeps its quiet work. And the night continues here, unchanged, while the sea stays outside the walls. A pressure gauge near the grate holds a steady needle. The glass remains clear. No condensation forms on its rim. The reading does not drift. A sealed hatch marks the cable entry point. Bolts remain tight around the ring. Paint marks stay aligned. No salt air leaks through. The gasket stays dry. In a clear case, a spare fiber coil rests in perfect loops. Each loop keeps its circle. No strand slips out of place. The case remains closed. A small warning label sits beside the tunnel door. High voltage. The letters remain sharp. No cover plate lifts. The panel stays untouched. You pause near the wall map again. Junction names remain printed in small text. Lines remain thin and clean. Nothing needs to be traced. You let the map stay a map. The fan tone stays even. The light remains steady. The station continues without attention. You can rest here. Tonight, the storm bunker is already sealed. Coastal sirens have fallen back into silence. A single corridor light stays on. Nothing is waiting outside. The door is thick steel. The latch is set. The hinges do not shift. The bunker sits under a low hill of rock and sand. Concrete walls hold a dry, steady temperature. Air moves through vents in a slow loop. The world above can be loud. Down here, it stays controlled. A narrow hallway runs past numbered storage rooms. Each label is painted in plain letters. No door stands open. The floor is smooth. No grit drifts in. No water reaches the drains. At the end of the hall, a control nook glows softly. A small panel shows pressure and power. The needles rest in stable positions. A radio speaker remains quiet. No crackle, no voice. Far above, wind crosses the dunes. It presses and releases. The bunker does not answer. A faint tremor passes through the ceiling once. Not danger, just weather leaning on rock. A bench sits beside the control nook. Its surface is cool and dry. A folded blanket rests at one end. Nothing needs to be packed. Nothing needs to be checked again. Two heavy doors separate the bunker from the stairwell. Their seals stay tight. A thin strip of rubber keeps the air even. Beyond them, the stairwell is dark. No step sounds. No hand touches the rail. Ventilation fans turn at a constant speed. The tone remains low. It does not change pitch. Light stays steady in the corridor. No flicker. No dimming. A metal cabinet holds spare filters and batteries. Latches remain closed. Tags hang straight. On the wall, a laminated map shows the coastline. Lines are simple. Arrows point to safe routes. No route is needed tonight. A pressure valve sits behind a clear cover. The cover stays latched. The valve does not move. The panel needles stay calm. Power holds. Air holds. Above, the siren tower stands in rain and wind. Its lamps blink on a timed cycle. The sound does not return. Down here, silence keeps its shape. The hallway remains empty. The bench remains still. The blanket remains folded. The bunker stays ready without action. A slow hour passes without edges. Another follows it. In the control nook, the emergency phone shows one steady light. No ring, no vibration. A soft relay clicks once inside the panel. Then nothing. The click does not repeat. Outside, the storm continues across the coast. Wave spray hits the rocks. Water drains away. The bunker remains dry. Concrete holds. Steel holds. And the sirens stay silent. A second corridor branches toward the generator room. A warning sign is bolted to the wall. The sign does not sway. Inside, the generator sits in clean silence. Fuel lines remain secured. No engine turns. A small charger light stays green. Cables lie in tidy loops. Nothing warms. A rack of spare lanterns rests on a shelf. Their lenses remain clear. Switches stay off. A toolbox sits closed beneath them. Its clasps remain flat. No metal clinks. In a side alcove, moisture traps hang from hooks. Clear canisters show a thin line of collected water. The line does not rise. A drain channel runs along the floor edge. It stays dry. No drip reaches it. A metal hatch leads to a narrow service crawl space. Its bolts remain tight. Paint marks remain aligned. Behind the hatch, pipes carry steady air. No rattle. No hiss. The flow stays even, measured, quiet. From somewhere above, a distant impact echoes once. Not close, not repeated. The sound travels through rock, then ends. Down here, nothing shifts. The corridor light makes soft rectangles on the floor. Edges remain sharp. Shadows stay shallow. A clock in the control nook keeps time in silence. Its hands move. The room does not follow. A clipboard hangs beside the panel. The checklist is blank for tonight. No pen is missing. A spare key rests in a labeled slot. The label remains readable. The key does not turn. Air returns through the vent grills in a slow cycle. It is neither warm nor cold. It moves away. The bunker remains sealed. No moves away. The bunker remains sealed. No damp reaches the corridor. Only the low sound of ventilation stays. The bench remains beside the control nook. The folded blanket remains in place. No strap is undone. The bunker does not prepare for movement. It holds. Steel and concrete keep their order while the storm spends itself outside. A final door remains closed at the end of the branch hall. It leads to an empty supplies bay. Shelves stand bare and dustless. No box is out of place. The panel light stays green. The corridor light stays steady. Outside, wind continues without a schedule. Inside, the bunker remains unchanged. The sirens do not return. The storm can move on. The bunker keeps its quiet work. The night remains held behind the seal. Still, no sound. The bunker corridor remains unchanged after the last line of weather. The corridor light keeps its steady tone. No shadow deepens. No door shifts in its frame. In the control nook, the panel needles remain calm. Power stays stable. Pressure stays stable. No alarm icon appears. A thin draft moves through the vent grill. It does not cool the air further. It does not carry any new sound. Then it settles back into the same loop. The emergency phone keeps one steady light. No ring, no vibration. The handset remains seated. A relay inside the cabinet makes a soft click. One click. Then stillness. Nothing follows it. Down the branch hall, the generator room remains quiet. Fuel lines stay secured. The charger light stays green. Cables remain in tidy loops. Moisture traps hang in the alcove. The water line in the clear canister does not rise. The hooks do not sway. The drain channel stays dry. Above the hill, wind continues to press against the siren tower. Rain hits metal and concrete. Water runs away through channels. no siren sound returns. Inside, the bunker remains sealed. Rubber seals hold. Steel hinges remain still. The stairwell stays dark beyond the second door. A clipboard remains beside the panel. The checklist remains blank. The pen stays clipped. No new entry is needed. The corridor remains empty. No step sounds. No hand touches the rail. Only ventilation continues. A small shelf near the bench holds spare ear protectors. Their foam remains clean. The pair stays aligned. Nothing is taken. The folded blanket remains at the end of the bench. Its edges stay square. No crease changes. The fabric remains dry. In the supplies bay, bare shelves remain dustless. Labels remain visible on the uprights. No crate appears. The space remains unused. A hatch cover to the crawl space remains bolted. Paint marks remain aligned. No vibration loosens the bolts. Pipes behind it keep steady flow. One more distant impact sounds above. Not close. Not repeated. It travels through rock, then ends. The corridor light makes the same soft rectangles on the floor. Edges remain sharp. Shadows remain shallow. Nothing flickers. The storm continues outside without entering here. The bunker continues to hold. The sirens remain quiet. The night remains contained behind steel. A small wall clock above the panel moves its hands. No tick is loud enough to notice. The face remains clear under the dim light. On a hook near the door, a raincoat hangs unused. The fabric does not sway. A plastic tag rests against the sleeve. A pressure door between compartments remains locked. The wheel handle stays at the same angle. No latch releases. In a cabinet drawer, spare radio batteries sit in a neat row. Their terminals face the same direction. The drawer remains closed. The vent fan holds a constant speed. Its tone does not rise. It does not fall. It stays even against the concrete. A metal sign near the stairwell reads, "Coastal Warning." The letters remain sharp. No moisture beads on the surface. Outside, waves strike the rocks below the siren tower. Spray lifts and falls. The sound stays distant, filtered by earth. The bunker does not answer. In the hallway, a floor drain cover sits flush. No water reaches it. No echo comes from below. A sealed first aid box rests on the wall. The red label remains centered. The latch remains flat. The control panel keeps its steady readings. No needle drifts. No light changes color. Everything stays within its limits. The storm can continue above the hill. Down here, the corridor remains dry and quiet. The bunker keeps holding the night. A small test button on the siren control stays untouched. A cover plate remains down over it. routine check is scheduled. A spare keyring rests in a labeled tray. Keys do not shift. The tray stays still. Air moves once more through the vents, then settles. Nothing changes and nothing needs to. Tonight, the launch pad is empty and fully lit. The gantry tower stands locked beside the silent rocket. Warning beacons blink at steady intervals. Nothing is counting down. The sea is close beyond the fence. The air tastes of salt and cold metal. The words can stay distant, like lights across wet concrete. The service road runs straight toward the pad. Painted lines remain sharp. No tire crosses the last checkpoint. A security gate stays closed. Its keypad glows. No code is entered. Floodlights cast long angles across the deck. Cables lie in clean runs along the rails. No hook lowers from the crane arm. The rocket stands vertical and still. Its skin holds a pale sheen. No vent opens. No vapor drifts from a valve. Inside the gantry, platforms ring the tower in quiet levels. Handrails remain untouched. Tool carts are parked in tidy rows. A single inspection lamp glows near a ladder. It does not flicker. It does not change tone. The sound here is mostly electrical. Transformers hum behind a concrete wall. Cooling fans turn somewhere inside a sealed cabinet. The pitch stays even. It does not rise. It does not fall. A windsock near the pad hangs almost straight down. It shifts once, then returns. Above, the night sky remains clear. No aircraft crosses the warning lights. No cloud softens the stars. A control box sits at the base of the tower. Switch covers remain closed. Indicator lights remain green. A radio speaker stays silent. No test tone, no voice. The pad markings remain bright in the floodlight. Numbers and arrows point to positions. Nothing moves into them. A thick umbilical line rests against a cradle. Its clamps remain tight. No pressure changes. Far beyond the fence, waves strike the breakwater. The sound reaches you faintly, then disappears under the hum of the pad. The ocean keeps moving. The launch pad does not answer. A set of stairs leads up to the first platform. Steps remain dry. No boot scuffs the metal. The railings feel cold. They hold a thin film of salt. No hand grips them. The gantry elevator remains parked. Its doors stay closed. No bell rings. A small display above the doors shows one steady number. It does not change. Warning beacons blink again along the tower. One fades, another appears, then darkness between. The rhythm feels measured, predictable, safe. Time begins to loosen on the deck. Minutes stop arranging themselves. The blinking replaces the clock. Nothing presses forward. A pressure gauge near the fuel line holds steady. The needle does not drift. The glass remains clear. A valve handle stays in the same angle. Paint marks remain aligned. No latch releases. The rocket remains fixed against the sky. No panel opens. No hiss breaks the air. The tower remains fixed beside it. No cable tightens. No motor turns. A small camera pod watches the pad from a pole. Its lens reflects a point of light. It does not rotate. The system observes without response. Along the perimeter, orange cones mark a boundary. They stand straight. No wind knocks them over. The fence line holds. The gate line holds. The pad remains sealed in light. A final walkway extends from the gantry toward the rocket. It stays retracted. Its joints remain still. No clamp arm swings. No connector reaches out. Nothing begins. The hum continues. The beacons continue. The ocean continues. The rocket waits without waiting. The launch pad holds its quiet pattern, and the night stays wide over the idle gantry. Near the pad, tall lightning masts stand in a wide ring. Their cables remain taut. No arc flashes between them. Small red lamps on each mast blink in slow order. They never hurry. They never stop. A pipe rack runs toward the tank farm. Valves are tagged with white labels. None of the tags move. Frost lines sit on insulated sections. They do not spread. They do not melt. A water deluge grate lies across the flame trench. Its metal bars remain dry. No pump starts. The trench stays dark beneath the deck. No heat rises from it. No scent changes in the air. A loudspeaker pole stands near the checkpoint. Its cone points toward the pad. No announcement plays. Only the steady hum remains. Only the blinking remains. The service crane rests with its hook latched. The hook does not swing. The cable remains straight. A safety chain hangs beside it. Each link stays still. A small sign on the fence reads High Wind Procedure. The letters remain sharp. No flap covers it. The windsock shifts once more, then hangs down again. The deck lights make pale rectangles on the concrete. Edges stay clean. Shadows keep their angles. Nothing crosses the shapes. Nothing breaks the lines. Behind the rocket, a vent stack stands over the pipes. No plume rises. No hiss escapes. The stack remains a quiet vertical mark. Just like the rocket. Just like the tower. Another beacon cycle completes. Red. Dark. Red. You do not need to follow it. It will go. The pad remains remains fully lit beneath the locked tower. No vehicle enters the service road. No badge reader beeps at the gate. The checkpoint stays quiet. The retracted walkway remains in its cradle. Pins hold. Joints remain still. No arm reaches toward the rocket. Nothing begins. Warning beacons continue their steady rhythm. One lamp fades, another returns. Darkness sits between each pulse. The pattern stays measured. The rocket skin holds its pale sheen. No panel opens. No vent line breathes. No frost line shifts along the insulation. The surface remains unchanged. Inside the gantry, platforms remain empty. Handrails stay untouched. A ladder light glows near a landing. No boot meets the steps. A gauge near the fuel manifold keeps its needle steady. The glass remains clear. Paint marks on the valve handle stay aligned. No latch releases. Along the perimeter, cones remain upright. The fence remains straight. The sea remains beyond the barrier. Waves strike the breakwater and fall away. Lightning masts stand in a wide ring. Cables remain taut. No arc flashes. Small red lamps blink in slow order, then repeat. A deluge grate lies dry across the trench. No pump starts. No water moves through the pipes. The dark space below the deck stays cool. The crane hook remains latched. The cable hangs straight. No sway reaches the line. A safety chain remains still beside it. A loudspeaker pole points toward the pad. No announcement plays. No test tone sounds. Only the electrical hum continues. The windsock shifts once, then settles. It hangs nearly straight down. Air remains light at the deck. Nothing pushes the cones. A camera pod reflects one point of light. It does not rotate. No motion triggers it. The system watches without response. Beyond the tower, the tank farm sits quiet. Valves remain tagged. Labels remain readable. No line warms. No plume rises from the vent stack. Another beacon cycle completes. Red, dark, red. You do not need to follow it. The pad markings remain sharp under floodlights. Numbers and arrows keep their positions. Nothing moves into them. The surface remains clean and dry. A small cabinet fan turns at constant speed. Its tone does not rise. It does not fall. It blends into the steady hum. The gantry elevator stays parked. Doors remain closed. The display above it holds one number. No bell rings. The sea continues beyond the fence. The tower continues beside the rocket. The lights continue across wet concrete. And the launch pad keeps its quiet pattern through the night. A short stair leads to a graded platform near the base. Yellow paint marks the edge. No step touches the treads. No rail vibrates. Salt collects in thin lines along the bolts. A covered connector panel sits beside the umbilical cradle. Its cover stays shut. Seals remain tight. No moisture beads along the rim. A small status LED stays green. On the deck, a grounding cable runs to a buried plate. The cable remains slack. Clamps stay tight on the lugs. No spark marks the metal. Everything stays inert. Near the fence, a windsock light glows faintly. It does not flash. It simply outlines the fabric. The fabric hangs still again. A service cart remains parked beside the gantry leg. Its wheels are locked. A tool case remains closed on the top shelf. No strap hangs loose. Nothing rolls. The flame trench remains dark beneath the pad. No heat rises from below. No smell changes in the air. The concrete keeps its dry, cool surface. The night remains controlled. Far offshore, a buoy light blinks once, then fades. It is distant and small. It does not change the pad. The beacons keep their rhythm near the tower. One more cycle passes. Red, dark, red. The rocket remains still beside the gantry. The pad remains bright and empty. The ocean remains out beyond the fence. Nothing starts. Nothing ends. Only the steady lights keep watch until morning, without hurry or sound. Tonight, you're stepping into a warm lava tube research lab beneath an active island volcano. The surface wind and rain stay above the rock. Inside, the tunnel holds a steady heat and a steady hum. Nothing down here needs to move quickly. The air smells faintly of mineral steam. Your boots meet dry basalt dust. The words can stay in the background. A thick steel door seals the entrance behind you. Its gasket line is clean and tight. A small indicator shows the lock engaged. The tunnel widens into a low chamber. Basalt walls curve in smooth black layers. Old flow lines are visible in the stone. A cable tray runs along the ceiling. Clamps hold it in measured spacing. No wire hangs loose. A row of instrument cases sits on a metal table. Latches remain closed. Labels are printed in plain text. Thermal, gas, seismic, power. A compact fan turns at a constant speed. It does not change pitch. It pushes warm air through a filter box. Further in, a yellow safety rail borders a drop to a deeper section of tube. You can hear water far below, slow and steady. It does not echo sharply. It stays contained by rock. A drip line runs into a clear canister. The water level is marked with tape. The line does not rise. On the wall, a thermal camera feed glows on a small screen. The color map shows heat zones along a distant vent. Numbers remain steady. No warning appears. Beside it, a gas sensor panel shows 3 readings: SO2, CO2, H2S. All remain within the green range. No buzzer sounds. A narrow side passage leads toward the monitoring alcove. The floor is smoother there, worn by careful steps. Reflective strips mark the edges. They catch the lamplight, then fade. A hand light above the alcove glows warm white. It does not flicker. It keeps a small pool of light on a clipboard. The clipboard holds a checklist. The boxes are empty for tonight. A pen rests in its clip. A small seismograph sits on a concrete block. Its paper roll is already running. The line is thin and calm. No spike breaks it. A metal boot tray sits beside the alcove. Dust stays inside its raised lip. No fresh prints appear. On a hook, 2 helmets hang by their straps. The straps do not swing. The plastic shells remain still. A sealed first aid box is bolted to the wall. The latch stays flat. The label remains centered. Outside the tube, the volcano continues its work. Down here, you feel it only as faint pressure. A low pulse through the rock. Once, then nothing. The ceiling does not shed dust. No pebble shifts underfoot. The chamber remains stable. A stainless pipe runs along the wall toward a vent stack. It carries warm air out of the chamber. The pipe surface stays dry. No condensation beads along the joints. A valve wheel rests at a fixed angle. Paint marks remain aligned. Nothing turns. A small humidity display glows near the vent line. Digits hold steady. No warning icon appears. The reading remains within its range. A drain channel runs along the floor edge. It stays dry. No drip reaches it. In a corner bay, a power cabinet hums behind a perforated door. A green indicator remains on. A second light remains off. The cabinet fan stays constant. It does not surge. It does not slow. A spare battery pack charger shows a steady green. No pack warms. No casing shifts on the shelf. A coil of extension cable rests in neat loops. Each loop stays in place. No end slips free. Further along the tube, a mesh gate blocks a hotter section. Behind it, the air shimmers slightly above dark rock. You do not need to go closer. The gate stays locked. A padlock sits centered in its loop. A small sign reads, "Keep out. Active vent." The letters remain sharp in the lamplight. A camera on a short pole watches the gate. Its lens reflects a small point of light. It does not rotate. A motion sensor sits above the frame. No indicator flashes. Nothing triggers it. Near the table, a radio unit rests silent beside a coastal repeater panel. No crackle, no voice, no test tone. A status LED stays steady. It does not blink. The line remains quiet. The rock walls hold their curved shape. The floor stays dry. The rail stays cool beneath your fingers. Heat rises gently from the stone, not hot, just present. The warmth stays even, contained, reliable. You sit on a low bench beside the table. The surface is firm. Your shoulders drop without effort. The fan tone remains low. The lights remain steady. The instruments keep their calm readings. Nothing needs to be checked again. A small log sheet is clipped to the edge of the table. The last entry is dated. No new line is added tonight. A marker rests in a tray. The cap remains on. The ink stays unused. The station remains ready without action. A faint sound comes once from deeper in the tube. Not a step, not a voice, just water shifting against rock. Then it is gone. The chamber returns to its steady hum. The seismograph line continues thin and clear. The bench remains beside the instrument table. Warm air moves past your wrists. It carries a dry, mineral scent. The fan keeps its quiet push. Across the wall, the thermal feed holds steady. A thin hotspot line stays in the same place. No color band widens. No number jumps. The screen stays calm. On the seismograph, the paper roll advances. A fine line continues without sharp peaks. One tiny tremor mark appears. Then the trace returns to flat. Nothing else follows. Near the vent pipe, the humidity display keeps its reading. Digits stay fixed. No icon changes. The valve wheel remains at its marked angle. A soft hiss passes once through the filter box. Not a leak, just airflow shifting through the media. Then the tone returns to its baseline. The cabinet stays closed. You stand and walk toward the yellow rail. Your steps stay light on basalt dust. Reflective strips catch the lamp, then disappear. Below the rail, water continues somewhere deeper. It sounds slow. It stays hidden. A clear canister under the drip line shows the same level. The tape marks remain dry. No new drop reaches the surface. The collection stays stable. At the mesh gate, heat shimmer remains faint. The padlock sits centered. The keep out sign stays clean. The camera lens reflects a single point of light. It does not pan. It does not react. Back near the table, helmets hang from their hooks. Straps remain still. No buckle taps the wall. The first aid box remains sealed. A cable tray runs overhead. Clamps hold their spacing. No wire touches the rock. The ceiling stays quiet. No grit falls from the flow lines. A brief pressure pulse moves through the floor, barely felt, like a distant door closing far away. Then the tube returns to its steady state. No alarm sounds. The gas panel continues its green range. SO2 stays steady. CO2 stays steady. H2S stays steady. No buzzer, no flash. You pause beside the checklist. The boxes remain empty. The pen remains clipped. Nothing requires a note tonight. A distant rumble rolls once through the rock. Low, short, then gone. The instruments do not respond. The seismograph line stays narrow. You sit again on the bench. The surface feels cool under the warmth of the air. Your shoulders settle. The lamp above the alcove keeps its warm pool of light. Beyond the sealed door, weather can change without limit. Inside the tube, the environment stays managed. Basalt walls hold their curve. Metal holds its bolts. Sensors hold their readings. The lab continues quietly beneath the volcano. In the corner bay, the power cabinet keeps a muted hum. Air moves behind the perforated door. The green indicator stays on. The second light stays dark. A charger shows a steady line of charge. Contacts remain cool. The extension cable coil keeps its perfect loops. The loose end remains tucked under the last turn. A stainless bracket holds the vent pipe against the wall. Bolts remain tight. The pipe surface stays dry. Near the floor, the drain channel remains empty. Dust sits along its edge. No water reaches the grate. A radio unit rests beside the repeater panel. Its speaker remains quiet. No static breaks through. No confirmation tone plays. The status LED stays steady without blinking. You take one slow walk around the chamber. Table, alcove, rail, gate, then back again. After a second loop, the path becomes automatic. The basalt surface shows thin, rope-like textures from old flow. They remain clear under the lamp. A small metal tag on the rail reads, Max Temp Limit. Numbers remain sharp. From deeper in the tube, water makes a single, louder sound. A brief splash against stone. Then the steady, low movement returns. The chamber stays settled. Nothing needs attention. Nothing needs speed. You stop near the sealed entrance door. The lock indicator remains engaged. No cool draft enters from outside. When you turn back, the lamps keep the same brightness. The instruments keep the same calm state.